Welcome back to The Download. You know our next guest as Cedric Daniels in The Wire, Philip Broyles in Fringe, Matthew Abaddon in Lost, and Sharon in the John Wick movies. Or, if you prefer his voice acting work, you'll know him as Silence in the Horizon games or Commander Zavala in Destiny. Welcome to The Download, Lance Reddick.
Woo!
Yay!
Welcome. Man, I wish my mom was here to hear that.
We'll send it to her. We'll find a way.
Yeah.
Now, Lance, you're easily, I think, one of the hardest working actors in show business. Your career has across so many different mediums now. But first, I would love to have you tell us about your character in an upcoming movie you're in with Tessa Thompson, the romance drama Sylvie's Love. What can you tell us about it?
It's a period piece. It's a love story. It's a dramedy. I play her father, who is the owner of a record store in the early 1960s. This young man comes in looking for a job, and he falls in love with my daughter.
Sounds like you've had some experience. You're like, wait, this is suspicious.
I'd be very nervous if I walked in and I was dating Lance Reddick. Lance, you're currently filming the 7th and final season of Amazon's Bosch. How's it been reconnecting with your co-stars after being away and, starting a production during the situation that we're all in?
The pandemic thing is weird, I gotta admit. As far as just reconnecting with everybody, after a while, see, one of the things that's cool about Bosch is that we, for a streaming show, is that we always film at exactly the same time every year. This year was delayed because of the pandemic by about 2 months, but still. Jamie Hector, who some of you may know as Marlo Stanfield on The Wire, he plays J. Edgar on Bosch. He's actually become one of my best friends, so we actually communicate all year long.
Oh, that's great.
And Titus, too, was on Lost with you as well.
Well, he was on Lost. We didn't have any scenes together.
That's true, yeah.
The funny thing about Titus is I met him 20 years ago on another series that he was one of the leads, and I had a recurring role. It was called Falcone, and it was based on the Donnie Brasco story. And he played the gangster Sonny that Michael Madsen played in the movie.
Nice. Now, you've voiced some fan favorite characters in big title video games. How different is your approach to working on games compared to being on screen?
Well, here's the thing about, at least for me, voicing video games, I require a lot more direction from the director. So with video games, so often you get the stuff like the day before, or a few days before, and a lot of it is stuff that you don't have any context for. So a lot of it has to be explained. So whereas very often, particularly if it's a character that I'm doing in a series and I know it well, they're often on a television show. I'll feel the less direction, the better, or I want a director not to get in my way too much in terms of motivation. Whereas with a video game, I'm going to ask for as much feedback as I can get to get it right.
Right.
Yeah, for reference, usually when you're working on a video game, you basically get just like a spreadsheet of lines. And again, as you said...
Not often, always.
Yeah. So they're just kind of like, lines in a vacuum. So it makes sense that you need a lot more direction for that. Now, are there any game franchises that you would love to be a part of?
Man, I hate answering this question this way on a show like this, but no.
Once you're in Destiny, that's all you need.
Yeah, he's like, I got it.
Well, Destiny's the only game that I play.
Really?
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn was too hard. So, I leave that to my son,
That's great. Yeah, and the Destiny fans obviously are going to love to hear that answer. And we here at the show love John Wick. I think it's the rebirth, I think, of action cinema in a great way. And obviously, a lot of people love you as the super cool Continental Hotel manager, Sharon. Will we be seeing him again in John Wick 4? Is there anything you can tell us about this series that I think none of us wants to end?
I think it has. I think it's okay for me to say because I haven't had to sign an NDA yet. I haven't seen the script, so I don't know.
Very nice.
Jeez.
Yeah, all I know is that they're planning. We've been talking about it, and that they're planning on shooting. Well, actually, it was announced in the trades about 2 months ago that they plan on shooting 4 and 5 next year. But we'll see. We'll see how things pan out.
Obviously.
Especially with the pandemic.
And I'll say, the hotel business has been hit rather hard by the pandemic.
Yeah. Now, you're well known for playing very intense characters.
Me?
But we see another side of you on social media, and and honestly, we love it. So we gotta ask, what is going on here?
Yes.
Oh my Lord, you had to pick that one. I'm putting on my butt. Oh my goodness, that is so embarrassing. That was my my grandpa audition for the strip club when I run out of acting work. Yeah. So you know, part of it started before the pandemic with something that I used to call Lance Reddick's quote of the day, and then it got more and more spaced out. Then it was quote of the week. Then it became quote of the whenever. And it just started as kind of funny stories, you know, that I remember from my childhood, and then it just turned into me having fun, just kind of being goofy. Because the truth is, that's more. Well, I shouldn't say that because, you know, I'm not one thing. But for example, the character that I play in. People don't have a reference for it because the movie hasn't come out yet, but the character that I play in Sylvie's Love as Tessa's dad, as a personality, is much closer to who I really am than most of the kind of intense characters that I play.
Oh, nice. That makes a lot of sense, and I can't wait to see it to get a better sense of Lance Reddick, the person, as well. Now, we can't let you go without getting your thoughts on the election. The turnout was historically high across the board, but especially so amongst young people and communities of color. So what do you think got so many people out to the polls this year, and why does it matter?
Fear. I mean, if I'm going to be blunt, what's been happening over the last 4 years has been really frightening. I feel that a lot of people, you know, and I'm kind of talking out of my ass because I really haven't, excuse me.
You can say it.
You can say
it. Talking out of my buttocks. So because I really haven't looked at any numbers, but I get the sense that in 2016, there were a lot of people who, particularly Bernie Sanders supporters, of who I was one of them, who, when for various reasons in whatever the DNC did or didn't do, when Hillary Clinton got the nomination, they kind of said, well, I'm going to take my marbles and go home. Yeah. And I think that was, I saw the potential of how bad it could get. So I was like, I mean, you know, she's not my first choice, but she can do the good job, and I'm, you know, we can't have this guy's president. Then it happened. And then we saw 4 years, and it wasn't every year got worse and worse. Every day got worse and worse. Yeah. So I think a lot of it was just, you know, it's a matter of whether or not we're going to continue to live in a democracy or not.
Yeah. Very good to know. And yeah, it's true. Don't take your marbles and go home. Participate. It's your civic duty. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, Lance. And of course, everyone, please check out the movies that he's in, any of the shows that he's in. And if you play Destiny, send him some love as well. Big thanks, as always, Lance, for being on the show. Thank you, man.
Thank you.